Hello friends, I'm Tiffany and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because today I'm going to be doing the Furry Friends tag with, of course, my pup Gunther. So there are 10 questions in this tag and I will put all of the questions down in the description just in case you want to do it on your own, or if you want to answer any of the questions in the comments, because I would love to know all about your furry friends as well. So the first question is, what is your pet's name? As I mentioned, this is Gunther. I'm sure if you've seen any of my videos, Gunther goes on vacations with us. He is in a lot of my vlogs, so this is Gunther, just in case you didn't know. The second question is, what kind of pet is it and what breed? So obviously Gunther is a dog and he is a rescue. So we're not exactly sure what breed he is, but we do know that he's a Dachshund and he could be mixed with something else. We're not exactly sure. We do know that he's not full-blooded Dachshund because he's a little bigger than full-blooded Dachshunds. We think that maybe he could be mixed with Basset Hound. Some people have told us Corgis. We're not exactly sure, but he's our little Dachshund mix and we love him. The next question is, how long have you had your pet? So we have had Gunther for a little bit over a year now. We adopted him in January of 2019, so a little over a year now, and he has brought so much light into our lives. We love him so much. Question number 4 is, how did you get your pet? So we actually adopted Gunther from the Humane Society of Greater Dayton. I have grown up with dogs my entire life, and so as soon as we moved here, even before we moved here, I was like scheming on getting a dog, and I have had 2 Dachshunds in my life. The first was a family pet, and then I adopted another Dachshund after I graduated from college, and she passed away a few years ago, and so I was so excited whenever we saw Gunther. Gunther wasn't actually the only Dachshund that was in the Humane Society. There was another one who was a little older. He tried to hang out with him and it just didn't work out. He had an attachment to one of the workers there and he just wasn't interested in anybody else. And so we saw Gunther, and we actually didn't get to interact with Gunther a lot because he hadn't gotten all of his shots yet, and so he wasn't technically available for adoption yet. But whenever I saw him, I was like, that is the one. He's the one I want. And my boyfriend wasn't exactly convinced. He's like, we didn't even get to play with him. How do you even know? But of course it was the right decision. I just had the best feeling whenever I met him, and he has been such a great addition to our family. The next question is, how old is your pet? So we actually don't know exactly how old Gunther is. He was a stray whenever they originally found him, and he was just wandering on the streets by himself, and his original paperwork said that he was 3, but then in other paperwork that we got, it said that he was 7. So we've been going on the assumption that he is 7 because whenever we got him, he was very skinny and he didn't have that much gray, but now as you can see, he's grayed up quite a bit. He's got a lot of white hairs. He looks like an old man. He definitely has the temperament of an older dog. So now we say that he's 8 because he would have celebrated his 8th birthday in January. Question number 6 is, what is your favorite memory with your pet? So we have a lot of good memories with Gunther. Even though we've only had him for a year, we have gone on a lot of vacations together and just done a lot of hiking around this area. We like to take him out as much as possible because we just love hanging out with him outside, because we feel so bad whenever we have to leave him to go to work or go to school, and and he's just left here by himself, and so we like to get him out of the house as much as possible. And he's actually really good on vacations, so he doesn't love car rides except whenever you are on the interstate. So if you're just going through stop and go traffic, he does not love it, but on the highways and stuff, he's able to just rest, and I think he just likes that vibration and not the stop and go traffic. So he is able to go on a lot of road trips with us, and one of my favorite memories was whenever we went on this hike. I believe it was in West Virginia that we went on this hike, and it was kind of like a little treacherous, so I wasn't really convinced that he was going to handle it very well, but he actually did so well, and he didn't really stop or anything until we got to the top, and then he was definitely very tuckered. I have a lot of awesome memories with Gunther, and I'm fortunate that a lot of them are captured on camera. So all of the vacation videos that I have with Gunther, I'll definitely link those in the description below. What are some quirky things about your pet's personality? So Gunther has a lot of personality. I know right now on camera he looks very chill. He just loves attention. So anytime you're giving him attention, he just willingly stays where he is unless he doesn't like the kind of attention he's getting. But something that Gunther always does is if you go toward him in any sort of way, first of all, of course, he wags his tail, but then when you bend down to pet him, he always rolls over. He always wants to get his belly rubbed. It's so cute. And he doesn't like toys, which was something that we were so surprised about, which Gunther isn't the first dog that I've adopted that doesn't like toys. A lot of dogs that don't grow up playing with toys, like strays or ones that grew up in a shelter, they don't always like to play with toys, and Gunther is one of those dogs. So I always feel bad whenever people give us toys for him to play with because he doesn't play with them, but those toys always get used. We have a lot of neighbors that have pets and stuff like that, and I have a lot of friends that have pets, so I definitely recycle those. But something that he does that I think is so funny is he loves to burrow, and he has this blanket that I have had for years. My friend Sarah, we've been friends since high school. She made me this Louisiana Tech blanket because that's where I went to school, and that is officially Gunther's blanket. He always burrows in that blanket, and he will literally burrow in anything. So if we're washing his blanket, he will burrow in a jacket or a shirt that happens to have been left on the floor. He will burrow in suitcases. One time I was unpacking a suitcase and his blanket was in the wash, and so he just hopped into my suitcase and decided to burrow in that. He also burrows under us, so if we're just sitting here, he will try and burrow under our arms or our legs or under our shirts. He just loves to burrow, and I think that's a Dachshund thing. Another quirk that Gunther has is he likes to pet himself. A lot of times after he's done eating or just randomly throughout the day, he will just pet himself on the carpet. He'll roll on his back and pet himself, and he likes to pet his ears a lot. What does your relationship with your pet mean to you? So for those that don't know, I have a lot of anxiety, and so moving to Ohio with my boyfriend was like a year and a half ago. It was really tough for me, and one of the things that really brought light into my life and one of the things that made me excited about living in Ohio was getting Gunther. It definitely just turned everything around. Gunther helps me so much with my anxiety, and I'm just a very emotional person in general, and just having Gunther really has changed my life. He is my unofficial emotional support dog. He is just the sweetest boy. He's so chill, he's so good, and even though he's not like trained really to do anything, just having him around just makes me so happy and just brings so much light into my life, and I'm just so grateful that he was available to us for adoption because he has definitely changed our life, changed our world. There's just so many times when we're just hanging out and we just look over and my boyfriend and I will just be like, look at Gunther, look at him, because he's just so cute and he has so much personality and he just brings so much happiness into our world. Question number 9 is, what are the nicknames you call your pet? So whenever we first got Gunther, I always called him Gunther. Like I was talking to him like a baby, little baby talk. So I'd be like, Gunther, Gunther. And he definitely responded to that. And then I call him Sweet Boy a lot because he's such a sweet boy. Look at him. Something that I definitely call him more than anything is Bubby. I don't really know how that came about. I think somebody called him Bubba, and then one time I accidentally called him Bubby. I actually used to work at a doggy daycare, and somebody came in and they called their dog Bubby, and I was like, oh my gosh, I call my dog Bubby too. And she's like, yeah, we call him Bubby, and then we call her Sissy. And I'm like, that makes so much sense that they would call Bubby for brother. And I was like, I guess Gunther needs a sister or brother. Question number 10 is, does your pet know any tricks? So Gunther is semi-trainable. He responds to some things, but not much. So he knows how to sit. He can lay down and roll over. Okay, Gunther, down. I wasn't ready for you to roll over yet. Okay, Gunther, roll over. Good boy. And then there are some words that he knows, of course, like outside. Of course, he knows bed. We tell him to go to bed and he'll go to his bed. We tell him to give us a kiss and he knows what that means. Whenever we want to feed him, we always ask if he wants to eat. And of course, he knows treat, which we always say trat whenever we're talking to each other about it, because if we say the actual word, he knows exactly what we're talking about. So yeah, he doesn't know that many tricks. He is an older dog, so we have taught him how to lay down and how to roll over, but he doesn't really respond to training of other things, so that's okay. We still love him and he's very chill. He's not a bad dog at all, so we don't mind that he doesn't know how to do that many tricks. So that is all for the furry friend tag. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to do the furry friends tag, all of the questions will be in the description below for you guys. So we will see you in the next video. Bye.